And then he's seeing on television, okay, the WWF has completely switched. They aren't doing these comic book-like characters. They are now doing this reality-based. These personas that are truly who these wrestlers are, maybe in real life, a little bit more of them being themselves. He rushes home, has a conversation with his wife and says, got an idea. She goes, I think it's the greatest thing ever. I'm going to become a pimp. I'm going to become the Godfather. And man, did it get over like no other during the Attitude Era in WWF at that time. The Ho Train, you cannot do that today. If any character came out with a line full of women and he was a pimp and he had them line up and looked at the wrestler across the ring and asked them, would you want to throw this match and you can go spend some good quality time with Miss Sarah Beth here, or whatever her name is, Becky or Barbara or Joanne, whatever you want to call her. That would get WWE, all those sponsors you see on the ring, all the Slim Jim, everything, be gone. Be gone. They would blow a gasket if that happened today. Of course, we all know that pimping ain't easy. And he came to the ring every night with the cigar in his mouth, holding that cane, get the funk music playing, and of course, the Ho Train, because a pimp ain't nothing without his women. It was perfect timing. WWE embraced the old saying that sex sells. He just wanted to go back to the club. He wanted to go hang out with the girls, and he was willing to, let's not even have a match. Why don't you come with me? He wanted to become friends with the man across the ring. He didn't want to have to fight him. He didn't want to have to wrestle him. He didn't want to waste his time doing that. Hey, just come back with me. We can all go have a good time together. Pretty enticing, in my opinion. Pretty smart of him as well. Instead of getting punched in the face, we can go have some fun with half a dozen ladies. He definitely didn't need the belt put on him. But, and the Godfather reached the peak of his career and captures his most significant title of his career, winning the Intercontinental Championship. It gave him an opportunity to show that even with this fun, beloved character of the Godfather, it showed the world that even someone like that can still carry a title and can still be a face of the company if done the right way. And I can never imagine that character being done the right way by anyone else outside of Charles Wright. The crowd's reaction was insane. It was massive. They loved the Godfather. He was one of their favorite characters, and he never had to actually wrestle. His in-ring capabilities were amazing, but his mic skills were second to none. I can't argue with what DX did during the Attitude Era. Cannot argue with what Rock did and how his career kind of launched from the Attitude Era. But if you really think about it, the times that you smiled the most, the times that you laughed the most, and sometimes the times where you were the most comfortable as a kid watching this in your living room floor, and the times that your mother would change the channel would be when the Godfather's music would hit. It would be when those hoes would come out, and it would be when he would start talking about them. So many times, the channel got changed because of that. We watched Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon, the establishment versus the blue-collar guy, boss versus employee. What we got with the Godfather was what we all dreamt of. We dreamt of cussing out our boss and flipping him off just like Stone Cold did. But we also dreamed about going and hanging out with a half a dozen hot women. We dreamed about being a pimp. We dreamed about hanging out with the hoes. I mean, I know I did anyway. Professional wrestling is more than the moves. Professional wrestling is emotion. It's about how you can get people to suspense reality for a moment. And for a moment, we looked at the Godfather and we thought, this guy's a real pimp. He's got the walk, he's got the look, he's got the clothes, he's got the girls. He's got it all. And then when you find out in real life that he was working at these clubs, living in Las Vegas, man, He was this far away from actually being that character. That is the closest that you'll find of someone being their actual character in real life. It's pretty dang close. We got the Ric Flairs. We got the Stone Colds. This is a pretty dang close depiction as well. And when it came down to it, he was able to balance humor without becoming a parody as well. It was a water cooler character. Did you see what the Godfather said last? Did you hear what the Godfather said last night? Did you see who he brought out to the ring? Did you see that one chick in that red dress? That was what was happening at the water coolers when they were talking on Tuesdays after Monday Night Raw. Fans still chant Ho Train decades later. Anytime they put the camera on him, if he's in the crowd, oh yeah, Ho Train. It's going to happen. It is going to happen no matter what. And of course, in 2016, his greatest moment in his professional career happened. The Godfather gets recognized as one of the greatest gimmicks and professional wrestlers of all time. The Godfather gets inducted into the 2016 WWE Hall of Fame. He acknowledges his character as Papa Shango as well. And it gave him an opportunity to celebrate his full career. Not just this one gimmick of the Godfather, but his entire career. The struggles of bad gimmicks early on, all the way to this memorable Attitude Era gimmick called the Godfather. Ladies and gentlemen, the Godfather didn't just survive wrestling's toughest eras. He thrived in them. From forgotten gimmicks to Attitude Era legend. Charles Wright proved that sometimes all it takes is one moment and the courage to reinvent yourself. And that's what he did when the Attitude Era rolled around. Charles was not willing to accept the past as what it was going to be. He didn't want to accept that all he was ever going to be was Papa Shango or Kama. He decided to reinvent himself when he saw the opportunity, and he jumped on it and he capitalized on it. And what he did was he became one of the greatest, most memorable, fun-loving characters that we've ever seen in WWE history. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to see the Godfather. Be sure to tune in next week where I will also be sitting down with the man himself, the Godfather. And we're going to discuss his career, what he's been doing since he stepped out of the ring, and see if we can uncover some fun BSK stories as well.